In today's video, we're going to be talking about silver, gold, the Federal Reserve, and inflation. And I'm also going to be going live in the VIP club tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, link in the description. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today we're going to be talking about the spot price of silver falling down into the $22 an ounce range, along with a major update related to the Federal Reserve. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos, subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We got the limited edition Christmas line helping raise a little bit of funds and awareness for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And of course, make sure to get your 2 free stocks by downloading Webull. The link will be in the description. For every 3 friends you refer to the app this month, you get a spin on the Webull wheel, and you're guaranteed to get at least 1 free share of Apple worth over $150. You also have a chance of getting 2, 3, 5, 7, even 10 shares of Apple. Biggest promo on Webull since I've been using the app. Go get your free stocks, link in the description. So today is Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. The spot price of silver as I'm filming the video is $22.65. It's down 19 cents, or down 0.83%. A nice dip on silver. I'm definitely happy to see silver back below $23 an ounce, premium excluded. Spot price of gold, on the other hand, is $1,787.20. It's actually up $12.40, or up 0.7%. Silver in the red, gold in the green. And of course, the gold to silver ratio is in the 77 to 78 to 1 range. But again, that's as I'm filming the video, not as I'm editing, posting, or as you're watching. So head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. But today, we have to talk about something in addition to silver and gold. And don't worry, I'll get into the silver and gold a little bit later in the video. But first, we have to talk about the Federal Reserve. Because at the moment, it looks like Jerome Powell will not be replaced after all. 46 told us on November 15th that we would have an answer whether or not Jerome Powell would be reappointed by November 19th. Well, that was untrue. We had to wait until the following Monday. But what we learned is that he's nominating Powell for a second term. Now, Powell's term ends in February, which is right around the corner, and as we're getting closer and closer, it seemed like the market was becoming more and more volatile, not knowing what a chair of the Federal Reserve would mean, or a new chair of the Federal Reserve. Would it be a JP 2.0? Would the new person be better or worse at the printing press? Would they raise rates quicker than expected? No one knows. Hence the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Hence the volatility in the market. Not to mention all the other nonsense we're going to have to deal with this month, now that it's officially December. We have the debt ceiling crisis deadline coming up. We have extending the government budget. We have a potential government shutdown. We have a lot going on right now with the latest inflation report and the latest jobs report coming out over the next couple of days as well. We have a lot going on, and there are so many reasons as to why people are fearful, uncertain, and doubtful right now. Hence all of the volatility. Now, the reason many of us were concerned Jerome Powell might get replaced in the first place was mainly due to the October 2021 inflation report. We got this report the first week of November, and now that it's officially December, we should be getting the latest inflation report for the month of November, that is, probably next week. But the October report we got in November was horrendous. We saw that it wasn't just a couple of categories spiking that made it look like the whole report was bad. No. It was the price of nearly every single possible category and nearly every single possible component. And it's no exaggeration. This was the biggest inflation surge in 31 years. Now, this comes back to Jerome Powell because the last couple of months, Jerome Powell has been Mr. Inflation is transitory, telling us that eventually we'll see deflation. Which, yeah, we may end up seeing deflation eventually, but what the heck does eventually mean? 3 months, 3 years, 30 years? When should we expect deflation, Jerome Powell? With all the dollars they've been physically printing and digitally creating, by the way, which is 10 times scarier if you ask me, it's gotten to the point where 40% of the currency to ever exist was created between this year and last year. That's how much they've been printing. I don't know if you can picture exactly what that looks like, but it's horrifying. 40% of the currency to ever exist printed in the last 18 months. That's terrifying. Anyway, though, this all circles back to Jerome Powell because with the chair of the Federal Reserve telling us that inflation isn't a big concern, while the rest of the government writes up stimulus deal on top of infrastructure deal on top of stimulus deal on top of climate plan deal on top of stimulus deal on top of social policy deal, we've ended up multiple trillions of more dollars in debt, so much so that even the tax hikes on taxpayers can't even afford it, while simultaneously going through the biggest inflation surge since 1990. This made Jerome Powell appear to be incompetent, which I thought might result in 46 taking aim at him and using all of this as ammunition and use it as somewhat of an excuse to replace him. All of this inflation mess that we're going through right now, I thought it would be used as ammunition against him. But as we recently found out, that will not be the case. JP should be reappointed in February. Now, there are a few different reasons for this. First, now would be a horrible time to replace the chair of the Federal Reserve with everything that we're going through at the moment. But two, you know how politics works. Every president in modern history screws things up and then just simply blames the previous guy, whoever was in charge before them. Well, I think that's what's going to be going on here. Because in November of 2017, Jerome Powell was originally nominated to serve as the chair of the Federal Reserve by 45. Now that 46 is apparently in charge, anything Powell does wrong is on 45. You see, if 46 were to replace Powell and the new person screws up, that's on 46. There would be no scapegoat, there would be no excuse, there wouldn't be anyone to blame it on. All in all, the latest inflation report should be released within about a week. So I'm curious what that will look like. I know it's anecdotal, but I personally didn't notice any price increases this last month like I did over the summer and into the early fall. But remember, November is the month of heavy spending. So we might end up learning about the components of some categories that weren't exactly highlighted in previous months. I'm really curious what this inflation report will be showing us. Personally, though, I'm not too optimistic about the November report. I'm actually nervous for the release because I can't imagine it giving us much good news. Our economy isn't growing fast enough to keep up with the amount of dollars they're printing, all while worker productivity is at a 40-year low, which, by the way, side note, we should also be getting the jobs report as well. That'll be interesting to look at too. But for economic growth and inflation, it's a common misconception that inflating the supply of dollars is inherently a bad thing. No, it's not. If the economy is growing at a pace or at a rate that it can keep up with inflating the supply of dollar bills, it should, in theory, have a net zero impact. The reason it's having an impact on us is because we're not growing. The economy is not growing. The economy is not keeping up with what they're doing in terms of printing more and more and more dollars. That's the real problem. So in conclusion, 46 is nominating Jerome Powell for a second term, which will begin in February of 2022, right around the corner. And we're still waiting on the latest inflation report and, of course, the latest jobs report. Now, away from all of that, I want to talk about some silver and some gold. Because if we're going to talk about inflation, we got to talk a little bit about silver and gold as well. More specifically, gold. Silver, of course, is something that I personally use as somewhat of a hedge against inflation. But typically, gold is the more stable metal between the two, and it ends up being somewhat of, I guess you can say, the precious metal of choice for a lot of people out there, especially the big dogs, the top 1%ers, the highest income earners. A lot of them who participate in precious metals lean more in the direction of gold than silver during times like these, because silver is the much more volatile metal between the two. It's up, it's down, it's all over the place. While gold, yeah, it's volatile as well from time to time, but typically it's much more stable. When everything comes crashing down, gold doesn't typically take as massive of a hit. And also, when times are good, when everything's moving in the right direction, yeah, gold is growing, but not at an exponential rate. It has that slow, steady, consistent, stable growth that people like during times of economic instability. They use gold to get that sense of stability that they're lacking elsewhere. So depending on the November inflation report that we should be getting within probably the next couple of days or within the next week, I think this might be somewhat of a make or break type of deal, especially when it comes to gold, precious metals in general, but especially gold. For example, if the November 2021 inflation report that's coming out soon, if it ends up being horrible like October, or even mildly bad, doesn't have to be as bad as October. October was really bad. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not doing anything. October was terrible. If November is even half as bad as October was, I think this is going to set a lot of people up to make some last minute moves, some before the end of the year moves out of their current positions in whatever they're currently invested in. I think we're probably going to see quite a bit of selling off, because every December we have this end of the year rally when it comes to the stock market, that is. For some reason, I'm getting a very strong feeling that this year might end up being a little bit different. I think this year we're probably going to see far more red than green. I don't really know if there's going to be an end of the year rally. Then again, it's dependent on some of the news that we're still waiting on, but at the moment it doesn't look like that's what's going to be the case. It actually seems like the opposite is going to happen. I think a lot of people are going to be taking their profits. I think there's going to be plenty of pullbacks and corrections, and I think a lot of people are going to be liquidating. I think a lot of people are going to be selling off some of their positions for a variety of different reasons. Number one, inflation, of course, but two, tax hikes that are coming in the year of 22. So before we move into that tax year, to me, it only makes sense that a lot of these people are going to be selling off during this tax year and putting those gains, those profits, those dollars, that value into something specifically designed and utilized as a tool to preserve value, to hopefully hedge against inflation during times of economic hardships and instability. I think, and I could be wrong here, I've been wrong in the past plenty of times. I will be wrong again in the future. I don't know this to be true. I don't have a crystal ball. This is just more of a math equation in my head. It seems as though people are going to be selling off their positions and injecting that currency into real, true, honest money, into silver and gold, probably mainly gold, the much more stable metal between the two, the beautiful yellow metal, what I've always considered to be the powerhouse metal. You see, I see the different metals two completely different ways. They're different metals for a reason. It's like a Honda versus a Toyota. Yeah, they're both cars. No big deal. But they're completely different cars for completely different reasons. When it comes to silver and gold, I view silver as the opportunity metal, and the reason for that is because I believe there is far more room to grow and perform over time in silver than gold. You see, when it comes to gold, do I think that gold will continue to grow? Yes, I do, but at a much slower rate. I think silver has the potential to grow at a much quicker rate. For example, silver currently in the $22 an ounce range. Let's just round it up to 25. Let's just call it 25 just for a second, because if silver were to double in value, all it would need to do is go from where it's at right now to close to $50. So using arbitrary number 25 to double, all it would have to do is get to 50. It's already done that. It already did that once, and it came really, really close a second time. So historically, we know that it's possible. Metaphorically speaking, if it happened yesterday, it could happen again tomorrow. We know that it's possible because it's already happened. We can speculate all we want and say, oh, this is possible. Silver can go to $2,000 now. Yeah, we could say that, but history doesn't prove that it's possible. In theory, anything's possible, but history hasn't shown us that it can happen. We already know silver can go to $50. So going from where it is right now to twice as much as it is right now, I don't think it's all too far-fetched. Gold, on the other hand, $1,700, $1,800. Let's just round that up to $2,000, which, by the way, it's hit. To double from that point, it would have to go up to $4,000, or from where it currently is, nearly $4,000, $3,600. Gold has never seen that number before. You and I have never seen gold go that high. Point being is that to double from where they are today, I think silver would have a far easier time making that happen than gold. I do believe gold will continue to go up. Slow, steady, stable, consistent growth. Silver, I just happen to see more room for exponential growth, which is why I consider silver to be the opportunity metal. I think that there might be an opportunity here, hence why I'm leaning far more in the direction of silver. But I'm also stacking gold as well because, yeah, silver is the opportunity metal in my eyes, in my opinion, but gold is the powerhouse metal, the ultimate form of wealth preservation. And what's better than silver, or what's better than gold? If you ask me, silver and gold. Why not diversify? If you have a precious metal of choice, if you prefer one over the other, that's perfectly fine. You'd be kind of like me. I prefer silver over gold. But in my opinion, I find it to be kind of foolish to only stack one and ignore the other. I think if you're stacking one, you should be stacking both. But that's just my opinion. That's just the way I'm doing things. That's the way I've been doing things for pretty close to 4 years now, and I plan on continuing to do this for another 4 years. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to silver and gold, which is your preference between the two? Obviously, many of us like both, but if you had to choose one over the other, which would it be? And of course, when it comes to everything related to inflation and Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, are you surprised that 46 is nominating Jerome Powell for a second term? You see, I wasn't too sure at the very beginning. At first, I was like, nah, it's not going to be replaced. And then I was like, well, with all of the different catalysts, it actually wouldn't surprise me if he used this all as an excuse to replace him. And then I started leaning back in the other direction again, and as it turns out, Jerome Powell should be getting a second term. Let me know in the comments if that caught you off guard, and let me know in the comments anything and everything related to the precious metals. And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller and easier to manage. I'm posting exclusive VIP-only adventure vlogs. I also do giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shoutouts, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a variety of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to subscribe. New videos every single day, 365 days a year. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Bunch of brand new videos over there. Go check them out. The link will be in the description. And of course, if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have the Consistency is Key design, the Kraken Stacking design, the Lone Wolf design, the Mama Didn't Raise No Karen design. But until Christmas, we also have the DYDSS Christmas line. T-shirts, hoodies, crew necks, V-necks, and long sleeves. They're helping raise a little bit of funds and awareness for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, so it's for a good cause, helping children with cancer. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. And make sure to also go and get your 2 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. For every 3 friends you refer this month and this month only, you will get a spin on the Webull wheel. You're guaranteed at least 1 share of Apple worth over $150 right now, with the chance of landing on 2 shares, 3 shares, 5 shares, 7 shares, 10 shares of Apple. If you don't want Apple stock, then just sell it and use it to get some silver and gold if you want. Webull link in the description. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again, what are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? When it comes to Jerome Powell, chair of the Federal Reserve, are you surprised? Were you taken back that evidently he's not getting replaced? Were you under the impression that there would be a new chair of the Federal Reserve? And of course, being that this video is coming out before the November inflation report is released, what do you think that is going to look like? Objectively, rationally speaking. Are you expecting more bad news? Are you expecting prices to maybe come down a little bit? Maybe we're going to start to see some early signs of deflation? What are your thoughts? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.